his third year on the comedy scene. And yes, he already knows he has a face for radio. Ladies and gentlemen, Carl Dean.
This is why they give you the microphone, so I don't have to shout the whole time. Hello, Benton Harbor, how is it? It's good to be here. I remember 10 years ago when this place was brand new. I was a lonely little newscaster. I was like 22, 23 years old, and they were building this really cool new golf course, and they told me where it was, and I was like, oh, Benton Harbor? Really? Okay, no, sure, that's cool. I was happy driving in, but there really isn't anything that brings out the interviewee of Benton Harbor quite like a gray, dreary day, is there? I say that, sarcasm. Before we get going, sarcasm. We good? Okay. I say this because I'm from Elkhart, Indiana. Yeah, see, there you go. That's all fine. We have to answer tough questions in Elkhart, like should I shop at the Kroger with the shootings or the Kroger's with the rats? These are the things that we have to deal with. But you know what? I've lived there my entire life, and I absolutely love it there. I really, really do. Couple of things you need to know about me. First and foremost is, this is my real voice. I'm not trying to sound cool. I just want to be clear about this. And yes, I have sounded like this since I was 18 years old. It's been very confusing for a lot of people. As you can imagine, there were some intimate moments early in my life that were even more interesting. You do not need radio breaks in the middle of times like that. This break is brought to you by Not What She Wants to Hear. Not what she wants to hear. Second thing you need to know about me is that I am a husband and a father. I've been married for going on 10 years this year. And my daughter's 8 years old, and it's my favorite thing about myself. Genuinely. Seriously, thank you. 10 years of marriage, and you see some things, right? Like no one really ever prepares you for the moments that you're going to experience. Ladies, is this still a thing? I know it was for new moms in their 20s. Is swapping birth stories still a really common thing for women when they're hanging out? Yeah. All right, any husbands that were here for the birth of any of their child, for any of you present inside the room? A couple of you, right. Yeah, you remember the real story, don't you? Yeah, because you didn't get the drugs. No, you did not. My daughter was born after a 24-hour labor via an emergency C-section. My wife had 2 epidurals. I will never forget the moment I walked in, expecting to see my little girl as she was setting up for her C-section. The story before it goes that they forgot about me. Yeah, I was in the delivery room, and it wasn't happening, so they decided the C-section. They said, okay, you got to scrub down, you got to put in this gown, and you can meet us in the room. They dropped me in a clean room, and they said, someone's going to come get you in about 4 or 5 minutes. 35 minutes went by, and I had assumed that something horrible had happened. Because why would they forget the husband? And then you walk into the room, and you see your wife right next to the anesthesiologist, and she goes, oh, hi, this is my new best friend. She gives me morphine. Yeah, that's life. That's life. In the bio, yeah, I'm a former newscaster. It's part of the reason it just kind of fell into place like that, right? You know, when you have a voice, there's only so many things that you can do in life. I'm working on doing the voice actor thing, but nobody wants to hire me. Radio was a lot of fun. I experienced a lot of stuff, and yeah, it was a good run, but I'm kind of happy that it's over. And one of the things that people assume about me, that because I sound like this, is that I'm kind of a white-collar dude that sits behind a desk, right? And I just punch numbers and do cool things because I sound like a creative type. I'm not. I'm a blue-collar guy. I really am. I think that there are certain powers that God never intended man to have, and I think one of those things is the forklift, right? God never intended one individual person to have that much power. And maybe it's just not that. Maybe it was that he foresaw the type of person that would be running these machines on job sites. You know, a guy whose gut is out to here has to spend 20 minutes finding his belt buckle in the bathroom and lives exclusively on Marlboro cigarettes and White Monsters. That's what it means. But yet I am still forklift certified. Not only am I forklift certified, I'm OSHA certified. I got my OSHA 100. And I know some of you in this room know what that means, but I didn't go into being an official OSHA guy because snitches get stitches. And that is an important thing on the job site. So on top of doing radio, and on top of being a certified forklift driver, I've worked at country clubs, a lot like this one. Actually, when this place opened, I had originally applied to work here. Didn't like me enough, fine, that's okay, I understand. I worked at a fireworks warehouse for a while. Yeah, that's really cool. In Elkhart, Indiana, they just store massive amounts of explosives in a building in downtown Elkhart, Indiana. That's not terrifying at all. Most recently, I worked in animal control. That was an interesting job. Wrangling cats and dogs. Married for 10 years and still chasing, yeah. They told me I had to be clean, so I'll let you guys fill that one on your own. Wrangling cats, it's true. I mean, you see some things, you do some stuff, and I went into a hoarder house one time that had 126 cats in it. Yeah, all right. Yeah. You know that scene from Jurassic Park where they've got the big mound and she has to reach into it to grab? Yeah, that was the back end of that house. I got out of that job. Surprisingly enough, that was most certainly not what I wanted to do with my life. But hey, jobs are jobs, and you can do a lot of fun things. You can have a really good time and kind of pick what works for you and really enjoy it. But radio was the thing that stuck with me the most. I'm still very much a current events guy, all right? And what I'm interested in mostly is the truth, exclusively the truth. That's called being a journalist. That's what I was trained to be. That's what I'll be for the rest of my life. I don't care what direction it's coming from. If it's the truth, it's the truth. And the truth is, 2024 has been freaking crazy already, hasn't it? Yeah. Now, election years, thank you. Election years are not going to be our best years to begin with, right? Doesn't matter who's in charge, doesn't matter what the thing is. It's always going to look bad. But what I did not expect was the state of Kentucky, 3 days into the new year, trying to legalize first cousin relations. The state representative that put forth the bill, a former Survivor winner. You cannot make these things up. Okay? At the same time that's happening in Kentucky, there's a group of like-minded investors that are trying to build religious communities, like-minded religious communities in the hills of Kentucky. And I'm from Elkhart, Indiana, and I saw that, and I said, I've seen this before. I know this. It's the Amish. They're going to take the Amish down to Kentucky. We're going to get the MAGA Amish, guys. We're going to get the MAGA Amish with their buggies and their awful spray tans. It's going to be a lot to see. Now, this is true. This is some behind-the-scenes baseball, because this joke has evolved within the last 24 hours. I had a punchline for that joke that used to say, and if there was anyone on this planet that could run a really good puppy mill, it might be our former president. Okay, the joke being, see, no one laughs. It's not a party thing. The joke being, Donald Trump hates dogs. Do you guys not remember this from when he ran for president in 2016? Dude hates dogs. And then, about a week ago, his potential frontrunner for vice president released her autobiography where she very graphically describes how she murdered one of her pets. What is happening, guys? What has turned into our political scene? And you know what? I'm okay with it. I was okay with it. Life is life. I work in animal control. I understand that sometimes things are complicated. But Kristi Noem, who is the governor of South Dakota, decided to, apropos of nothing, tell everyone how she killed her dog. Why? But that's where we are. That's the world that we're living in. These are the things that happen. I'm going to give you guys some canned jokes here. Is that okay? Nothing that's really got segues. Segues are fun, but I'm not going to try and hide anything from you. I've been working on some business ideas lately, trying to come up with some new ways to make money. I am not an entrepreneurial person, but the world is kind of a difficult place, and it would be nice to have some passive sources of income, right? I think we all can agree with that. My first idea was escape rooms for the blind. Yeah, we're just going to call it rooms, and we'll be able to save a lot of money on decorations. That's the plan. But we are going to have to find somewhere for their dogs to go to the bathroom. That's what R&D is for. Business idea number 2, thinking about getting into the bagel industry. Specifically the bagel accessories, like the bagel schmears, if you will. I've come up with a good name for the company. It's going to be a really old guy, and his name's going to be Paps. We're going to have Paps Schmears. It's going to be great. Everyone's going to love it, okay? We're going to have 3 flavors. First flavor. First flavor is going to be speculum and honey, okay? Next one is going to be cervix and chives. And our third flavor, so that way we have some open lifestyle options, we will call it a HP vegan schmear. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Ladies, it's awful. Like, this is why I warned you before I went into it. I hope you're okay with that. And this is true, ladies, and it's the same at every show, is that I tell that joke because I am a doting husband and someone who really does try and pay attention to things. And I know what those words mean, but I get a lot of blank faces from the men in this room every time I tell that joke. Go home and look up speculum. It'll be that brand of schmear will taste very metallic. You'll understand what I mean when we get back to that one. So, quit drinking. Yeah, it's an update in my life. Yeah, thank you. As Michiganders, you'll respect the reason why. It's because it messes with my high. And, you gotta make choices. You can only have so many vices in life. But I'm trying to get better and I'm trying to do things. I've been on the mental health, sort of journey that I think everyone has been going through right now, and the state of the world certainly doesn't make it any easier. What doesn't make it any easier is also when you have a little girl who absolutely tells you the truth in every possible scenario. Dad, you've been napping a lot lately. Thank you, honey. Yes, I'm very well. Is there a reason why you didn't finish mowing the lawn today? Yeah, no, it's okay, babe. Thanks. The other part of that I've been battling is something called imposter syndrome. Because I actually, years of Midwest humility that I have to work through with my therapist. I actually have kind of a cool resume. Like, I've done a lot of things, I've won a lot of awards, I've done cool stuff. But the point of imposter syndrome is that no matter how much you do, you kind of feel like you don't do enough. Which is why I'm telling you that the fact that you guys have laughed at almost none of my jokes is very affirming to me as a person. It really does make me feel like I'm on the right track with myself. It really does. But things are getting better, home life is working out, and I'm really enjoying myself. So I'll leave you with one story, this is true. Sorry, I wanted to mention one more thing really quick, because this has been harder, and I do my homework. You guys had big layoffs at the Woolworth factory, right? That sucks. I just want to say that I'm sorry. And I don't have any jokes about it. I would love to tell you that I have something that is witty and fun, but as someone who comes from Elkhart, I know how you feel, and it stinks. So kudos to you guys who came out here for some laughs. For those of you who are affected, I hope you get everything figured out here pretty soon. The RVs are a little bit different. They just never stop hiring and firing at the same time. The numbers come out to be about the same, but it's all the same thing. All right, here's my last thing for you. When I was 22 years old, and I was working in radio, I found out that my best friend died via a press release from the police department. Yeah, I was sitting at work one day, email went off. I was supposed to have lunch with him that day, trying to figure out where he was. And it was an incredibly traumatic event. Not here to walk through all of it. It was a thing that happened. I miss him and I love him and I can't wait to see him again. It was about 2 years ago today that I had my first real paid show. It was April of 2021. And I finished with the show and I felt really, really good about myself. And sitting on the back porch, I decided to send him a text message. People do that, right? Send dead people text messages, that's always great. And it wrote out basically what I just said to you guys. I mean, hey, I love you, I miss you, I'm chasing my dream, I wish you were here to see it, I miss you every day. And sent the message, put it out in the world, didn't expect anything from it, right? All of a sudden my phone goes off. Ba-ding! His face, obviously it's not him, definitely not God. So, I assume it's someone else who's acquired his number by now. Hoping for a beautiful moment of humanity, I expected them to say, sorry for your loss. Reach out anytime. Hope you feel better, congratulations. You know what I got? I got a one-word response. That word, unsubscribe. I'm Carl Dean. Thank you guys for joining us today.